Welcome back to the Ultimate DIY channel. Today, I'm dropping a game-changing tutorial to turn those foggy, yellowed headlights into crystal clear, showroom shiny beasts. No need to shell out big bucks at the shop. Just grab some sandpaper, a dab of toothpaste, or a pro polishing kit, and we'll make those headlights pop like never before. This quick fix not only saves you cash, but also makes nighttime driving safer and your car look. Start by grabbing a clean cloth and giving those headlights a good wipe down. Get rid of all that dirt and grime that's been building up. Some tough plastic gunk is still clinging to the surface, and a simple wipe won't cut it. So I'm using a utility knife to gently scrape it off without scratching the headlight. Just take your time and use light pressure. Let the blade do the work. Slow and steady gives you the best results. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on more epic hacks. Once those stubborn spots are gone, the surface will be way smoother and ready for the real magic. Polishing. And trust me, this prep step makes a huge difference in the final result. By using the inside of these batteries, I can whip up a DIY cleaner that works surprisingly well. Next, I'll carefully grind the battery core to extract the fine black carbon powder inside. It's the key ingredient for our cleaning mix. It acts like a super fine abrasive, gentle enough not to scratch the surface, but strong enough to scrub away oxidation, yellowing, and dirt. It helps restore that clear, shiny look to your headlights. Now let's mix it up. I'm adding a small amount of toothpaste to the carbon powder. Toothpaste already has mild abrasives, and when combined with the carbon, it becomes a powerful DIY polishing paste. Just mix until you get a smooth, thick consistency. It should feel like a gritty cream. Give the mixture a good stir until everything blends smoothly. Now, to kick things up a notch, I'm adding a small splash of vinegar. The vinegar helps break down tough grime and adds a bit of chemical cleaning power to our paste. Mix it all up again until it's nice and even. At this point, the texture should be creamy but gritty, perfect for polishing without scratching your headlights. Now I'm going to divide the headlight into two sections. I'll clean just one side using our homemade mixture and leave the other side untouched. That way, we can clearly see the before and after difference. This side-by-side comparison will show just how effective this simple DIY trick really is. Now I'm applying the mixture to the section I want to clean. Just spread it evenly across the surface. Make sure it covers all the cloudy and yellowed areas. Don't worry about being too precise. Just focus on getting a nice, even layer so the mixture can really do its job. Now, let it sit for about 5 minutes. This gives the mixture time to break down all the grime and oxidation stuck on the surface. After that, we'll move on to the fun part, scrubbing it clean and revealing the results. Now it's time to scrub. I'm using a piece of sandpaper to gently rub the surface in circular motions. I'm starting with 800 grit sandpaper. It's slightly more abrasive, perfect for cutting through tough oxidation and heavy yellowing on older headlights. This helps lift away the oxidation and lets our cleaning paste really work its magic. When it comes to sandpaper, choosing the right grit is key. For headlights, I recommend starting with a fine grit, around 1000 to 2000. It's gentle enough to avoid scratching the surface, but still effective at removing that cloudy layer. Backhand index pointing right. Avoid using rough sandpaper like 400 or 600. It's too aggressive and can leave visible marks. If your headlight is really bad, you can start with 1000 and then finish with something smoother, like 2000 or even 3000 grit for a polished look. Now I'm switching to 1000 grit sandpaper. This finer grit helps smooth out the surface even more and removes any tiny scratches left behind by the 800 grit. After sanding, you'll notice the surface still looks cloudy or hazy. That's completely normal, so don't panic. Now I'm moving on to 1500 grit sandpaper. This ultra-fine grit helps smooth out the hazy surface even more and preps it perfectly for polishing. And finally, I'm finishing off with 2000 grit sandpaper. This is a superfine grit that really smooths out the surface and erases any tiny imperfections left behind. This step is all about refining, prepping the headlight for that crystal clear shine. Again, I'm wet sanding gently, letting the paper glide over the surface. After sanding, the surface looks cloudy and dull like this, and that's totally expected. Don't worry, it's part of the process. Now comes the final step, polishing. I'm going to bring back that glossy, crystal clear finish and make this headlight look brand new again. Now I'm grabbing an empty soda can. Yep, just a regular aluminum can. You're probably wondering what this is for, right? Next, I'm pouring a bit of acetone into the soda can. Acetone is a powerful solvent. It helps dissolve any leftover residue and gives the surface a smooth, clean finish. Now I'm taking a heat gun and carefully heating up the bottom of the soda can. The idea here is to warm up the metal, so it works almost like a mini polishing iron. As the acetone reacts with the heat, it helps soften and melt away any remaining haze on the headlight surface, bringing out a smooth, glossy finish. When heated inside the can, the acetone quickly evaporates, releasing a warm vapor filled with solvent. As this vapor touches the plastic surface, it gently melts the cloudy layer, creating a temporary chemical polishing effect. The heat from a heat gun speeds up the reaction of the acetone, while also slightly softening the plastic surface. This helps fill in tiny scratches, making the headlight look smoother and clearer. Alright, time for the moment of truth. Here's the side we cleaned and polished using our DIY method, and here's the untouched side. As you can see, the clean side looks much clearer, smoother, and almost like new. The foggy layer is gone, the scratches are barely noticeable, and the headlight just pops. Meanwhile, the untreated side still looks dull and yellowed. This side-by-side comparison really shows how effective this simple method can be, with just a few tools and household items. So, if your headlights are looking tired and cloudy, don't throw money at a new set, try this first. And if you found this helpful, give a like, drop a comment, and hit subscribe for more awesome DIY car hacks. Whether you use toothpaste, baking soda, or a professional polishing kit, all are easy to find, affordable, and surprisingly effective. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you won't miss any useful tips. Let's go. Last time, I gave this headlight a partial makeover. You can still see the line between clean and dirty. Today, let's complete the transformation and make it shine like brand new. After peeling off the tape, you can still see some stubborn adhesive left behind. No worries. I'll show you a quick trick to easily remove it. I'll be using this razor blade to gently scrape away the leftover adhesive. Just take your time and be careful not to scratch the surface. This will help me gently scrape away some of those stubborn yellow stains, so the rest of the cleaning will be much easier and faster. In the previous video, I showed you one type of cleaning mixture. This time, I've got another one to share, so you can easily pick the method that works best with what you got at home. The first thing I'll put in here is toothpaste. It's super easy to find and works surprisingly well. You only need a small, just right amount. No need to use too much. Next up is WD-40. This will help loosen stubborn stains and make the cleaning process even easier. It's easy to get your hands on this. You can find it at most local repair shops. I'm going to spray about 5 to 6 times into the cup. This amount is just right. Not too much, not too little. To help the mixture blend well and create the perfect texture for cleaning. Let's mix it up really well first so it's nice and smooth before we put on the headlight. Now that the mixture is ready, I'll start applying it directly onto the surface of the headlight. Just spread it out evenly to make sure the whole area is covered. I'll grab a thin, flat wooden stick to spread the mixture onto the headlight. It's super handy and helps me apply it more evenly and carefully. Take your time with this step. Don't rush. The circular motion helps the mixture break down the yellow stains and dirt more effectively. After spreading the mixture evenly, I'll leave it for a bit to let the ingredients do their job. Alright, now I'll use some sandpaper to gently scrub the headlight. First, I'll start with 800 grit sandpaper. When choosing sandpaper, there are a few things you should keep in mind. Start with a grit that's not too rough. Usually around 800 grit is a safe starting point. If the sandpaper is too coarse, it can easily scratch the headlight and make it worse. Also, make sure to use wet sandpaper or keep the surface wet while sanding. Wet sanding helps reduce friction, protects the headlight from deep scratches, and makes the sanding process smoother and more effective. You can gradually switch to finer grits like 1000 or 2000 for the finishing steps. This will help smooth out the surface and make the headlight look much clearer and more polished. After the initial sanding, it's time to switch to 1000 grit sandpaper. Using a finer grit at this stage is important. It helps refine the surface and get rid of the marks from the rougher sandpaper. When sanding, make sure to move your hand in gentle, even, circular motions. Don't press too hard. Just apply light, steady pressure to avoid scratching or damaging the surface. Always keep the surface and the sandpaper wet while sanding. Wet sanding helps reduce friction, prevents deep scratches, and makes the process much smoother. Try to cover the entire headlight surface evenly. Don't stay in one spot for too long, as it can cause uneven sanding and leave marks. At this stage, switching to 1500 grit sandpaper is really important. It helps remove the sanding marks left by the rougher grits and gives a headlight a much cleaner, more even finish. And finally, I'm finishing off with 2000 grit sandpaper. This is a super fine grit that really smooths out the surface and erases any tiny imperfections left behind. When I move to 2000 grit sandpaper, I can safely sand a bit into the other side. Since both sides are being finished with the same grit, it won't affect the surface and everything will blend together smoothly. This step is all about refining, prepping the headlight for that crystal clear shine. Again, I'm wet sanding gently, letting the paper glide over the surface. Once this is done, the headlight will be ready for the final polish. And that's where things really start to shine, literally. After sanding, the surface looks cloudy and dull like this. And that's totally expected. Don't worry, it's part of the process. Now comes the final step. Polishing. I'm going to bring back that glossy, crystal clear finish and make this headlight look brand new again. This is where all the prep work pays off. So let's get to it. Now I'm grabbing an empty soda can. Yep, just a regular aluminum can. You're probably wondering what this is for, right? Well, we're going to turn this into a simple but effective polishing tool. Sometimes the best DIY hacks come from the most unexpected things. Next, I'm pouring a bit of acetone into the soda can. Now I'm taking a heat gun and carefully heating up the bottom of the soda can. When heated inside the can, the acetone quickly evaporates, releasing a warm vapor filled with solvent. As this vapor touches the plastic surface, it gently melts the cloudy layer, creating a temporary chemical polishing effect. It's not a permanent fix, but it gives the headlight a quick, glossy finish that looks almost brand new. The heat from the heat gun speeds up the reaction of the acetone, while also slightly softening the plastic surface. This helps fill in tiny scratches, making the headlight look smoother and clearer. It's like giving the surface a quick refresh. Less haze, fewer imperfections, and a noticeably cleaner look. After carefully sanding and polishing, you can really see the difference now. The headlight looks much clearer, the yellow stains are almost completely gone, and the surface feels smooth to the touch. Compared to the untreated side, this side is noticeably brighter and much more transparent. The light will definitely shine better through it, improving both the look and the safety of the car. And that's it. With a bit of patience and the right technique, we've restored the headlight to a much cleaner, brighter state. Almost like new. Remember, taking care of your headlights doesn't just improve the car's appearance, it also keeps you safe on the road. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more handy tips coming soon. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.